Internet City. Hello. It's Kermit the Frog. I don't know why did that. I just felt like it. Oh God. I This has been a weird week. I feel like I've had a week that has gone like nonstop. I was unexpectedly busy all week at work. No real stories to tell there. Actually, I do have one small thing that I can mention, but it just the fact that it was nonstop all week. Here I am at the end of my week, and I feel exhausted, and I don't want to do anything. To me, it's one of those days where I have no motivation to do anything. I just want to be in my bubble, in my world, not do anything. But I am bringing it here for this is like the one thing that I am actually excited for. I wanted to play Pokemon all week, and I finally had like the afternoon. I probably could have played some, and I was just like, I just don't want to. I just want to like not.
You
do
don't
anything.
even have the energy for that. You're a Slowpoke. You're a Snorlax. You don't have the
Pikachu,
energy of somebody like a Ponyta.
Not at all. Pikachu, get out of my face. We don't need you here. We don't need you here at all. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this energy-filled episode, number 175, $1.75.
Big.
Yeah. Of the Captain's Log. Yeah, we are doing our thing. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined as always by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you? How's your week been?
I'm doing fine. It's been a busy week. We had a holiday. It was Martin Luther King Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He's got so many titles. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was his day on Monday, had the day off, and then I spent the next 4 days being very busy at work, catching up from this American holiday when I work in very international business, and people in China and Turkey and Azerbaijan don't stop for this day.
Yeah. It was like we don't have the international stuff, but it was still just like it's January. The semester just started. Like, why is everyone trying to do everything right now? Normally this time of year for my job is quiet. It is dead. Like, there's a few like, welcome back, it's a new semester, but that's it. Like, because nothing has actually gotten started yet. But now that everything is like online and remote and virtual, they're like, we can do anything at any time of the year that we want, because people can just show up to their computer and do it that way. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It was lame. It was dumb.
Welcome to Homecoming 2. You have no reason not to be here.
Yeah, indeed. So the last work-related thing that I will mention is that I went into the office for the first time since the pandemic started.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The first time in 22 months you stepped foot on campus.
Since March of 2020. I have been living inside this room and the room that's on the opposite side of that wall there. Like, that's where I've been, my bedroom. But my laptop, my work laptop, was getting old. You know, it was getting there. It had been showing signs of life, or signs of old age. It had not been showing signs of life. Its signs of life were declining steadily. And it just got to a point where I was like, I need to talk to the IT people. Like, I'm putting up with a lot of stuff that I really don't need to. And so they got me hooked up with a new laptop. I had to go in to go trade it out and all of that stuff. And it was strange being back in the building, because we had to use our key cards to get in. We didn't used to. When I got in there, I went like inside we have to go inside another door once we're in there to get to like where everyone's desks are. It was empty. There was no one there. It was dark. I was just like, this is strange. And then the IT department is in the basement. So I went down to the basement. It's dark. There's no one there. Like, I was just like, this is weird. No one's here. I got there earlier than I expected, so I had to wait and basically sit there in the dark. Thankfully, the lights are motion sensing, so like when I got there, it was like, oh somebody's here! Wake up, do something. But
you have to make sure you just constantly wiggle, so you're there, just getting back to your break-in moves to make sure you stay in the light.
Yeah. But yeah, I switched it out, and then I went back up to the 3rd floor, which is the one I used to work on, because since I hadn't been there since March, I left my water bottle there. One of those like insulated, like it keeps it cold for like 2 days straight, or hot, right? And so I went in there and picked up that and left, but 3rd floor also empty. So no one in the basement, no one on the 1st floor. Could have been someone on the 2nd floor. I don't know. Could have been someone on the 4th floor. I don't know. But most of the building was empty, and I didn't see anyone except the one person I had to go see and trade the laptop in with. So, oh well. But what a weird experience. Eerie. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel that. Yeah.
That was one of the highlights.
I feel that even on
week.
That's good. It's good to get to go into a ghost building. I don't remember the last time I was in a ghost building. Sometimes even during normal times, my office is very ghostly. Because now that everybody can work from home, a lot of the times people do. So it'll be me and like 2 old people in another department.
Holding the fort down. Melissa Wilkinson. Making sure the building won't fly away. Oh, man. So something else that happened on Monday that we didn't really get to do was a trailer reaction for Moonlight.
Yeah.
The first, well, we've seen a teaser, but the first trailer, the first official poster and trailer debuted on Monday at halftime of some football game. I don't remember.
You had to burst my bubble with this, because we did talk about it briefly, and I said it's cool that they saved the Moonlight trailer for a night when there was a full moon. And then I said, yeah, that part might have been intentional. And then I thought that trailer came out later in the day than they usually do. Maybe they saved it for nighttime when the moon would have been out. And you're like, no, they just showed it halftime at a football game. That's what dictates this. It's not the moon.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that, yes, they were like, we need to schedule this on a full moon. That means it's going to be on that Monday. And then, yes, as they're like, being like, oh, there's a football game. Hey, we could do halftime at the football game. And they're just like, yes, lots of people will be watching the football game. Show it there.
I was watching the moon. I was at my parents' house that day, and like my mom steps out at 6 o'clock or something to see my dad off as he goes to an errand or something. She comes back in and she's like, Melissa, come look at this moon. It's pretty cool. So we both go out there, no coats, and we look out the horizon like, wow, that is some moon.
Same old moon. It's still there.
It's always a treat, though, even though it happens 12, maybe 13 times a year if you get a blue moon. Yeah. A full moon's always exciting to see. The novelty never gets old. I never get tired of a sunset. I started rating sunsets just for fun. No sunset ever goes below 6. They're all great. They happen every day, and they're always great.
Cool. Good stuff. So, now that you have seen said full moon, you have seen the Moonlight trailer, thoughts on the trailer?
Looks cool. Looks very spooky. I'm excited for how spooky this is going to get to be.
Yeah. I'm interested in that too. I want to know if they are going to spookier, scarier route, or if this is more not necessarily scary, but just cerebral, but in the like more Dadaist sense of just like a dream-like
cerebral
like,
and surreal
going on. Yeah. Because that like Moonlight, I have always felt like has a lot of potential, but I haven't read much of his stuff, but I've felt like whenever he shows up, it's just like, this is pretty good, but it's not there yet, right? Like I don't feel like I've read the one that was like, yes, they like, this is it, like. But I also haven't read all that much, so I don't know. But yeah, like I'm excited to see what they do with this. It's only going to be 6 episodes, if I remember correctly. And it is debuting March 30th.
That's true.
Is when that is starting. So that's going to go through most of April. And then I'm assuming either like She-Hulk or Miss Marvel will be right after that.
This is pure conjecture. I don't know if Eric Voss from New Rockstars based this on anything, but he was saying if Disney Plus has been releasing their shows on Wednesdays, maybe we could have a Star Wars show debuting on May the 4th. If they put on the day Moon Knight releases, if they put out 2 episodes that day, that is all done by May 4th. And then we've got room for Obi-Wan or someone, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't follow Star Wars as closely. I just know that Obi-Wan will happen at some point this year.
I think Obi-Wan would be an interesting. I think since he's a more well-known character than like Cassian or Ahsoka, as much as I love her, she's my favorite. But Obi-Wan, that'd be good, because that is what I think they're hoping to do, is alternate the like Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel. That way they always have something. And they're getting there. We're getting there. The Ahsoka show is happening real soon. I haven't really heard much about that Cassian Andor show, but that's supposedly still happening. Season 3 or whatever of The Mandalorian is coming down the road too.
Yeah.
Got some good, exciting stuff from Disney Plus.
When is D23 this year?
Isn't that usually in the fall?
That's what I'm thinking. It's been so long that I don't remember. Yeah, it's September. Yeah. September 9th through the 11th. We got to wait that. Well, maybe we'll get a little bit of news Comic-Con time into July, and then we'll get more D23 time mid-September.
Yeah. We'll have some Comic-Con stuff. DC, I'm sure, will do a 3rd year in a row of their DC fandom thing, which I think is also more late summer than anything else, because those were some of the last trailer reactions we did last year, I think. Yeah, got some good stuff coming down the road. I'm excited. God, yeah, I Moon Knight. To be honest, it's freaking wild that they are making a Moon Knight show. Right. Like that is a very bold, very adult choice
that they've made to include Moon Knight there. Yeah.
God, just wow. They're making a Moon Knight show. How cool is that? God, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, I loved the trailer a lot. I liked that it was also different from what I know about the character. Like, I know he has multiple personalities and stuff like that, and I'm not necessarily familiar with all of them here and there and stuff like that. But I know the name Mark Spector, which on that phone call and the thing, he's like, "Why did you call me Mark? I don't know. Harry Potter. I'm a what?" He just did that whole thing, and I was like, oh,
he did that whole thing.
You don't recognize
verbatim,
right? Yeah, you don't even recognize the name Mark. Like, that's the one that I know you by here.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, like what we know most of the show is going to be one personality, and he's finding out that like was not his original personality or stuff like that, and has to uncover his past or something like that there.
Yeah,
so,
they could change whoever Moon Knight Prime is.
Yeah.
Whoever his original guy will be. We could see so many.
Indeed. I'm excited for all of that stuff. Speaking of the Star Wars shows, I don't have this in our notes here, but the actress that played Huntress in Birds of Prey and Ramona in
yes, the tall lady,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, right? Is that her name?
Winstead, yes.
Winstead, yeah. She is joining the Ahsoka show in some undisclosed role. Don't know who she'll be yet. But yeah, she'll be in that. But they announced that today. So congratulations. There you go. I'm excited about that show.
Good to hear. Good to hear more.
And then we got some news on the next Mission Impossible movies here.
Right.
So the Mission Impossible 7 and 8 both got delayed by almost a year. I think Mission Impossible 7 was supposed to be out like end of summer, early fall this year. I think they were shooting for September. I think they pushed it to like July 2023 is when they're hoping to do that one now. And then 8, of course, would be, way down the road.
I didn't even know 8. Like I figured they would probably make an 8. I would have been told if 7 was going to be the last one, but I didn't know 8 was far enough along that they had a projected time frame, and now they have an updated projected time frame.
I'm wondering if they're filming them back to back. That'd be
helpful.
A thing, especially with Tom Cruise, such a crucial part of that franchise, and him rapidly getting old, but also still, how does he do all of this stuff? Like like he's not old, but he's also old.
he's younger than, I don't know, I forget how old he is. He's younger than our dads, but I don't know how much younger than our dads.
He's about the same age as my dad. He's in his 60s, I think. How old is Tom Hanks here? Let's see.
Tom, we're asking about Tom Cruise, but sure, tell me Tom Hanks also. Every Tom.
Let's see. Tom Cruise age. Let's see here. Oh, he's 59 right now. Is what
younger
Dr.
than Dad
Google says here. Yeah, but still, like 59. He's getting up there. Might not be able to make as many of those stunts.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just, because like he's such, like, he's so tied to that series that I don't, like, in 7 and 8, do you start to introduce another? I mean, I guess they kind of tried that with Jeremy Renner, and then that didn't go so well. Or I don't know. Like, can you see Mission Impossible surviving without Tom Cruise, or is that one, like, once he's done, just let that be for 15 to 20 years, and then when they start remaking them down the road, that's when they can do all of that stuff?
Yeah, I could see them laying it to rest, but I could also see if they find themselves in a period where it's like, okay, Ethan Hunt is out of the picture. And then they look around at the media landscape and they're like, is anybody doing a James Bond right now? Like, I wonder if they find themselves in a dry spell of spy movies. They'll be like, Benji's nephew is our new spy. It's Simon Pegg. And a boy we're going to find somewhere.
Named Tom Holland.
Right.
That's who they would get. You know,
inevitable.
That's who they would get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get a different Tom in there. You just cycle through Toms.
Yeah,
that's the one rule. Must be a Tom.
Here you go. Cast a Tom. That's what they need. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm excited about those movies because of us watching them on the review show
That was a good
2 years
time.
ago. Yeah, it was good. And just Mission Impossible Fallout
Yeah.
being so good. It was so amazing. And I was just like, why didn't I go see this in theaters? Like
We'll
I'm
get our
so mad.
chances.
I'm still mad at myself for not seeing that in theaters.
Kyle, it's still possible. Like, you could always do one of those rent a private screen for your birthday and then you tell them what movie to watch.
I could be like, one Mission Impossible, please. And they'll be like, okay, here you go, just for you. I'll go in there.
Hot and fresh. Here's your pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Be sitting there with a big slice, just watching Mission Impossible.
Like it's a pizza chef messing with dough, but it's a DVD stretching out DVD material, spinning a big disc. That's how they're made. They don't tell you that. That's the secret.
They start small and then they just start spinning them out, right? Okay, all right. Now we're at Blu-ray and DVD. If we keep going, though, we'll get a laser disc.
Oh my god! A laser disc is like a pizza.
I mean, yeah, it's like the size of a record, right? Like a personal pizza ish. I don't know.
I could eat a laser disc all in one day.
There you go. I could eat it. I ate a whole entire pizza by myself tonight for dinner. I told myself I wasn't gonna do it, but I did. And so there you go. That's very important podcast news that I have brought to you all here on the 175th episode of the Captain's Log. You're welcome.
It took us this long.
Yeah.
In other movie news, did you see? I should have put a link about this in our Google Doc. Did you see that Weird Al is making a comedy biopic of his life starring Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes. I don't know. I'm interested just because of the cultural touchstone that is Weird Al, right?
Mm.
That being said, I was never as into Weird Al as I know other people were.
We were a Weird Al family.
I still know some of the songs and stuff like that. I think he's still making stuff, right?
Oh yeah, he's prolific. He goes on tours. He works very hard. Weird Al's always busy.
Yeah. I'm also not I'm not like a big fan of Daniel Radcliffe. I guess I know him from Harry Potter and that's about it. I haven't really followed his career beyond that stuff. So it just he
makes interesting choices. It seems like he does. I know he's done comedy projects before. He wouldn't have been, if you gave me like 10 guesses who would play Weird Al in a movie, I wouldn't have gotten to him. But now that it's him, I can kind of see it. There's got to be a reason. He'll probably do well. And I think I read that this is going to like the Roku channel or something, which disappoints me.
The Roku channel original movie.
Go to theaters, be like the next Bohemian Rhapsody, the next Ray. Think about how many actors have won Oscars in musical biopics. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al could have been the next one. I mean, maybe you can. I mean, it's a streaming platform. If you can nominate a Netflix, you can nominate a Roku channel. Maybe this is their play. Maybe this is Roku channel's first attempt at an Oscar-worthy title. The daring biopic of Weird Al.
God, does Weird Al do the soundtrack to the biopic, or does he get other people to do the soundtrack and then he makes spoofs of all of the songs? That would be funny.
Man.
If he
like
did
somebody else covering "Eat It"
Well, no. Like, I mean, he like it like, let's say the movie has a normal sound track, right? But it's the biggest stars. I don't know. There's a Taylor Swift song. There's a Post Malone song. It's a score by Hans Zimmer, or I don't know. But then like Weird Al does an album that is a spoof on that is spoofs of all of those new songs that they made for that stuff. That would be fun. That's what I was.
I like that idea. He's got such a rich catalog though, and now I am wondering, like, are they going to find scenes besides like the diegetic songs? Like, yes, this is me when I wrote "Eat It" or what have you. Are they going to have like montages where it's like we got to figure out like what part of his life goes thematically with Amish Paradise? When was he at his most white and nerdy? When will we drop that one in?
It could almost be. I don't remember how well the movie portrayed it, but have you read the short story, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
I've not read it, but I saw the Ben Stiller film.
Yeah, I don't remember how well that film played with the like, what is real, what's not, like in his head here. I wonder if somehow they do something like that in the film there, that like somehow moments in his life are inspiring the songs that he makes, but like it's almost music videos to those songs that Daniel Radcliffe is walking and dancing and singing through. I don't know, like it can be so many things, and it is one. Yeah,
it will. I think it is overtly going to be a comedy. I think there will be sincere things in there that Weird Al wants to say about his life, but it will also be a laugh a minute.
I hope so. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Other movie news. I'm trying to find the tweet because I have the tweet here. Here we go. Sources tell Deadline that Bong Joon-ho is in talks to write and direct an untitled film based on Edward Ashton's upcoming novel Mickey 7 for Warner Bros. And that Robert Pattinson will star.
What a combo. I like that.
Yeah, this is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mickey 7 is a sci-fi film. I don't know. Let's see if Deadline
I hope
Hollywood
Robert Pattinson gets to play 7 different people.
Let's see, the book will be the book's not even been published. Okay, the book will be published in, there's a typo, in the first quarter of 2022 by St. Martin. Oh, okay, I thought that was his name. I was like, who? St. Martin. St. Martin, a Macmillan imprint. While the film will be inspired by the novel, sources say that given Bong's past experiences with adaptions, his version might ultimately whoever wrote this having a hell of a day. His version may be different from the novels. That's what they wrote.
Ultimately maybe.
Yep. The novel's story follows Mickey 7 is an expendable, a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world Niflheim.
Okay.
Whenever there's a mission that's too dangerous or suicidal, the crew turns to Mickey. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. After
several deaths, Roberts.
After 6 deaths, Mickey 7 understands the terms of his deal and why it was the only colonial position unfilled when he took it. There you go. Interesting.
Neat. Yeah.
Bong Joon-ho, fantastic. his work has been great. Robert Pattinson, I'm not as familiar with his stuff, but Melissa, I know you're a huge fan, especially of The Lighthouse.
I do love The Lighthouse. Yes. He's great in that. He's great in Tenet. I haven't seen Good Time yet. I just learned that Good Time has an extended scene set at a theme park, which now has skyrocketed it towards the top of my to-watch list.
There you go. There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
He was also in some movie called High Life, where he's also in space. Like he was part of another space colony mission, but now the only people left are him and his daughter, and they're on like a greenhouse ship. It's like them and all the plants that they're going to plant on Mars or whatever. I found it in Showtime. It's on my list. I'll get to that one too.
Cool. There you go. There you go. I think that's all the movie news that I have and all that stuff that we're excited for and looking out.
Yeah.
Sam is now with us here in the chat. So hello, Sam. Thank you for joining us.
Hi,
we are
Sam.
about to do our quick break so we can do all our housekeeping and stuff like that. And then we will get into the second half of the show. We got some questions about cartoon characters and weird product descriptions. So we'll get to that when we come back, because we will be right back. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. A big shout out to our Patreon supporters, especially those at the $5 tier, like Sam here, who's been in the chat for the past few minutes. Thank you, Sam, so much. We love you and appreciate you. It means a lot. Yeah, cool things that we have been up to here at the Whatnauts. Melissa, you and I just did our spoiler cast for season 1 of Yellow Jackets. And I had a blast with that.
It's a wild ride.
It's a great show. I highly recommend it. It's on Showtime. Go do what you need to do to go get that. But yeah, we're all, at least me and Melissa, are super excited about that show. And we got to do our spoiler cast. So that is up on the Reactor Core feed if you listen to it as a podcast. It's also up on our YouTube. You guys can go check it out there, as well as our website. Let's see, the review show. Last week we did The Power of the Dog. This week we are doing an HBO mini-series called Landscapers, or The Landscapers.
It is Landscapers, just
Landscapers. They're not definitive. It is just Landscapers. Yeah, it's a 4-issue, 4-episode. I keep saying issue. I don't know why I do.
You've done that like 3 times.
I'm the one with issues here. A 4-episode mini series. It's a dramatization slash kind of, it's not a documentary, but there is some documentary bits in the credits of a true crime that happened in like 1999-ish, and they covered it up for about 15 years, and the couple that perpetrated the crime was sentenced to at least 25 years in prison. and they keep saying they're innocent and that they didn't do it. But man, the trailer for this hooked me. I watched it and I was just like, I need to pitch this immediately, because they do some really fascinating stuff with the camera work and just what's real and what's not and what's happening in the characters' heads and how they see things and how that bleeds into real life, so on and so forth. But yeah, go check that out. That'll be on the review show. We're going to be recording that this Sunday, so be on the lookout. And then for Patreon this month, tomorrow we are recording our 2022 video game fantasy draft. Is what we will be doing there, and we're gonna be having a guest join us throughout the year. We're bringing on Calvin, who joined us this past week on Crossplay, our video game podcast, and he's gonna be joining us throughout the year for our draft, just so we can have some more competition in there and stuff like that. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited. And we're going to be checking in on that throughout the year to pick more games and spend points and money and this and that and who knows. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's it. That's all the housekeeping for right now. Yeah, there you go. Part 2 of the podcast.
Part 2.
Alyssa, you have a question here about weird product descriptions. What happened that inspired you to write this question?
I went to a Trader Joe's tonight. I bought a single bulb of garlic, and it rung up on the receipt as a garlic each.
A garlic each.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I thought
Merry
about
Christmas to all, and to all a garlic each.
One garlic each. And then I realized I have 2 other stories of weird product descriptions on receipts, and I wanted to know if this was normal and if you had also encountered any of these.
So I'm not really a receipt person. I don't like them. I don't keep them. I crumple them up and throw them away almost immediately. I have never been like that much of a stickler, like on my taxes, to keep all of them and go over them. And I spent this much this month and did that. Like I'm not into. I don't budget myself that strictly. So I don't feel like I do have a memorable moment of me looking at a receipt. Okay, here's kind of one, not really, not exactly what you're looking for here.
Okay.
My dad and I went to Costco when I went to go visit them this past December. And
how many knives did he buy?
Did not buy any knives, thankfully. But we get there, and a couple years ago, I had taught my parents how to use their smart home device and their phones to start a grocery list. They could just, speak it onto their smart home thing, and it will update the list, or they can update the list manually. And then when my dad is out at the store, he can just use his phone to check the list. He doesn't have to write it down, doesn't have to remember it. Like if he leaves and my mom needs to add something, like she can just update the list and it's right there. I guess they stopped doing that because when we got to Costco, my dad was like, all right, well, we need to call your mom to figure out all of the stuff that she wants us to get. Well, my mom
You couldn't
was
have asked
asleep.
your mom before you left the house. You had to drive to the Costco and then call mom back at home.
Well, so we went there. That this was one of the first things that we did, because I flew into Montana, and it's about a 2-hour drive into where my parents live in Wyoming. And so before we left that bigger city in Montana, we stopped at the Costco in Montana. So if I had known, sure, I would have asked my mom, but no, my dad was just like, yeah, we'll stop at Costco. We'll call your mom. She'll tell us all the stuff that we need to get, and then we'll be good and we can drive on home. And that's it. Well, we get there. We call my mom. She doesn't pick up. Apparently she's asleep. My dad calls like 11 more times. She doesn't answer. So we're just stuck there with like, well, we don't know what we need to get. And I was like, well, I kind of like sparkling apple cider, so let's get some of that. There is this like soup that my dad likes, so he got some of that. And we know the main thing was that we had to get our ham. So we got that. And that was it. We left Costco with 3 things, which is not something you normally like do at Costco. And you have those like big long receipts at Costco. Yeah. You have like 2 or 3 carts full of stuff. And then they have the people at the doors checking like, okay, it says you have 116 items. Yep, that looks like about 116 things. Here you go. There's your receipt. And so we come up with our like giant cart with like 3 small things in there. Just I'm like, man, we have so much. Can you count it all in there? And the guys sitting there like, wow, you guys are making out like bandits. That was the only like weird receipt experience, because they have to like check the receipt, but he can just that was lame. Not what you were looking for.
Well, maybe you can have a weird receipt experience for yourself. I don't know if this is specific only to our local Dairy Queen, but Jack says that if you go to a Dairy Queen and you get fries and you ask them, can you put cheese on the fries? When you look at your receipt after this transaction, it says fries, add gooey.
Fries, add gooey.
So go to your local Dairy Queen and see if you can add gooey. Yeah. And then the best one is that here in St. Louis, we have a year-round costume store called Johnny Brock's Dungeon.
I think you've mentioned it before on the podcast here. Yeah.
It sells every costume you need, not just Halloween, but year-round. Lots of other party supplies. If it's Mardi Gras, if it's New Year's Eve, this is where you go and you get everything. And they rent out costumes as well, in addition to selling them. And this is a story I've heard like secondhand. But my older brother says that once one of his friends was having a birthday party, and another one of his friends wanted to get him like a really goofy gag gift. So he goes to Johnny Brock's Dungeon, and sometimes they will sell off costumes that were in their rental cycle. Once it's the item's not it's worn out, it's not rental quality anymore, we'll just sell the parts of it for cheap.
Sure.
So he went there and he bought a foam Popeye head.
Okay.
So if you needed to rent a Popeye costume, including a foam head that you put over your own head to really make yourself look like Popeye, he bought that head. Not the entire costume, only the head.
Just the head, okay.
He buys only the Popeye head. And the receipt gets rung up for pot pie head.
Pot pie head? Is that the like knockoff name that they had to like? Is it supposed to be a knockoff?
No.
Popeye, it's pot pie.
Pot pie. Pot pie, the boater man. No, I think the theory was the guy ringing it up was like, I don't know what to label this thing. Hey, what do I call this? What do I type into the computer? And the other guy yells out, Popeye head. The guy's like, right, pot pie head. Heard you perfectly. I've never seen Popeye. I just heard what my coworker said, and I think I heard pot pie head. That definitely has got to be this guy's name. Look at him. His name's Pot Pie.
If it's even like an inside joke between whoever like put it in there of like, oh, he's smoking a lot, like he always has that wooden pipe and he eats spinach. it might be pot. So pot pie head. There you go. I don't know.
Where's pie into it? You know, he loves smoking the weed, and he loves spanakopita.
It's not like pot eye. I got a case of the pot eye.
I do wonder if maybe they've got fully licensed costumes, but as a joke, they've got them rung up in their system under fake knockoff names.
By the Sailor Man.
What happens if you Google pot pie head? Is that someone?
That's
pot
what I'm trying
head.
to see. It's giving me pictures of Popeye here. Ooh.
There's nobody here with a pot pie for a head.
Yeah, no, it's regular.
Disappointing.
Popeye. But all of the, like, I don't know if it's autocorrect, like, doing it, but there is stuff. Like, here's Popeye head here. It's a lame little thing here, right? That's no fun. It felt like there was in the news section. Like, here's YouTube. Hot pie, low Sailor Moon, boo boo, bye bye, the cattle. I don't know what that is, but we're about to find out.
None of these are what I asked for. I want a man with a pot pie for a head.
Oh, it's a playlist. Man, I don't want a playlist.
I swear pot pie head is a real story. And I truly wish
it has to be.
I had firsthand information of it. Like, I had a photo of the receipt. I've just heard secondhand what a receipt looked like. I've never seen it.
Sam says she found a recipe. Let's see here. Like,
I don't want a recipe. I know how to make a pot pie. I want to see just a man with a pot pie for a head. That's all I'm asking for. I want this to be like our next internet cryptid, like a Slender Man or a Babadook. This is the new horror film that's scaring the teens.
With McRib Sterling in our Whatnauts lore, who knows? Pot pie, the boater man might be joining him this year. Pot pie, the Sailor Man. I'm all about making personal sized items for dinner and fun snacks. So naturally, when I found a recipe for mini pot pies, I just had to make it. All that stuff. I guess it's just pot pies. Like small pot pies with like spinach in them and stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't see spinach on there. I guess not.
That's a good start.
Why is it called pot pie the Sailor Man? Other than the obvious, like, they don't even make the pot pies look like Popeye. Weird. I don't know. Oh well.
This is an avenue that led us nowhere.
Yeah.
And regrettably.
Pivot, quickly, pivot. Melissa, I have a question we can end the show on.
Yeah.
That I think would be a fun exploration. So I started watching Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. This
excellent
year.
choice.
Just decided to put it on in the background while I was playing some Pokemon. Stuff like that was just like, you know what? I've seen clips of the show. I remember when it was on like Adult Swim. I've caught some things here and there. I've never actually watched the show from front to back and stuff like that. So that show's good. It's funny.
It is.
It's not spectacular. It's not like you guys need to go watch this cartoon right now.
Right.
It's just like, this is a stupid idea and it's kind of funny. Like, I like it.
Solidly entertaining.
It's solid. And I was wondering if you could come up with any other cartoon characters, like forgotten cartoon characters from our childhood that would work in a scenario like Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, where they get repurposed, reimagined into this new show where like it's not like they're not in the context of the old show, right? It's not like, oh man, what happens when Ed and Eddie grow up and they're the adults? It's not that, like, but like here's one that I thought of, like, what if it was the devil looking character from Cow and Chicken, and
oh my god,
it's a cooking show and it's a spoof of Hell's Kitchen, like, and then
truly
you could have
a
all
hell.
of these,
just have
like,
that red butt man yelling at you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to have like different cartoon characters show up and try to be chefs, or like Double D shows up trying to make job breakers, or Fred Flintstone shows up like trying to make like the dinosaur ribs, something like that, right? But just like, what, like, can you think of another good cartoon character that would fit like that? Because I know Harvey Birdman had a show, I think, back in the day, like his own show, but it was like short-lived. It wasn't real popular. It was just this like weird, obscure show, right? So who's a forgotten cartoon character?
First off, now all I can think about is how I wish somebody would bring me ribs and put them on top of my car before I ate them. I've never eaten ribs off the top of my car like Fred Flintstone does. And now I don't know why, because nothing's stopping me. I can just drive to my parents' house the next time my dad makes ribs. They're like, Dad, put them on top of the car.
Right?
I'm Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba, Dad.
Like, imagine a restaurant being run by the red butt guy and him from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my god, that's the new Two Broke Girls, right?
Yeah, right.
It's Two Broke Devils.
Absolutely. It's like no, it's the Property Brothers, but it's them. They're trying to flip houses.
I do like this. I would like to see like a real estate show. That's a good format for. We took an obscure like C-list cartoon character nobody remembers. We're going to put them at the helm of this very recognizable procedural TV format.
Yeah, and they go visit all these, like the Flintstones are selling their house and they need to flip it or something, right? Like that the Pickles family is moving, like they have to sell the Rugrats house. I know that's all cross network stuff,
they
but
don't,
but still.
Like the idea that the Pickles family knows that their house is called the Rugrats house.
The Rugrats.
This is where our children were little. This is the house where they were Rugrats, you could say. We choose to sell our Rugrats house. We're going to buy an all grown up house. Yeah. I'd love to see a disaster drama, like the tale of a man who's gone whose life is starting to crumble, like a Breaking Bad or an Ozark or the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret. And it's just this like guy with red hair. And it's not until the end of the episode that you get his name and you realize this is Chucky Finster. I want to start completely sincere. This is just some new drama on TNT. And then at the end, like, that's Chucky that boy Finster with the glasses? That's Tommy's friend? What happened to him?
To be honest, yes, something like that. Like a Breaking Bad style show where Chucky, the one who was undoubtedly gonna grow up to be like the most normal pencil pushover like salary man thing, ends up like selling meth.
Yeah, I look forward to its spin-off. You'd better call Phil and Lil.
Yeah. Or no, I guess Phil and Lil would be the Saul of that.
Imagine!
What was the black girl's name in that show?
Susie Carmichael. I was thinking about Susie Carmichael, and like, I want her to be a good lawyer.
She'd be the
I
smart
want her to
one,
be
yeah.
successful. Exactly. I want just like new primetime on Fox. There's a lady judge in this court, and it's Susie Carmichael.
It's Tommy, or no, what was Tommy's younger brother named Dill?
Dill.
Right? Yeah, it'd be Chucky and Dill cooking meth.
Oh my god! Right. That's his Jesse Pinkman. Yeah.
That's his Jesse Pinkman, yeah. And then Sam says Angelica's the one that gets the ricin. Yes. God, yeah.
Let's go back to a character we've discussed previously on the show, which is Mandark. I want to see Dr. Mandark MD.
It's a spoof of Dr. House, yeah. God, like, see, I want to go more obscure than that, because like the Rugrats are well known.
More obscure than Mandark.
Yeah, like Rugrats are well known. Dexter's Lab is well known. Like, we've mentioned it before on the show, but Sheep in the Big City, like, great show, but that's not one that people really, it's not in the forefront of their minds, right? Like I said, it's not the Dexter's Lab, it's not the Powerpuff Girls, but a character like Sheep in the Big City would be
that's a real estate show
to use. Yeah.
Sheep sells the big city.
Yeah. That could be interesting. Sam is saying Two Stupid Dogs. That's a good one. Secret Squirrel.
Yeah.
Secret Squirrel. Is that because I feel like Secret Squirrel is more well known. He's more with the like Hanna-Barbera
maybe, yeah,
like that and Hong Kong Phooey and all of
number
those
one super guy
there. Yeah.
What's the Sons of Anarchy, but it's that Dune buggy. Sons of Speed Buggy.
Yeah. God, so I like Harvey Birdman, freaking wild. They have a speed buggy episode in there, and it starts out with like actual police footage of a car chase, but they've superimposed speed buggy on top of the car that they're chasing,
yes!
And that's how he gets arrested, and how he has to go to Harvey. That show is so funny. They do a spoof of the Sopranos, but it's Fred Flintstone.
Oh, I think the race
so
ban
good.
and Benton Quest custody argument is episode 1.
That's episode 1.
The Flintstones one is episode 2. I remember this. I was there.
It's season 1, because I think immediately after that they do. It's the one from Super Friends, the Native American superhero that can grow bigger.
Yes.
And he spills coffee on his lap and wants to sue the coffee shop. And he describes it as like, well, now that I spilled this hot coffee on my lap, I can't, get bigger. And Harvey Birdman immediately thinks, oh, he can't get it up. He can't get an erection. And so like the whole time he's just making these like dick jokes, but that's not what the character is talking about at all. So funny. Good.
I think there's a lot more that can be done with whatever happened to Robot Jones.
That's one I forgot about.
That
would be an interesting one.
I want to see that one in the model of A Halt and Catch Fire. Like, Robot Jones is the Gordon Clark of this series. Like, somebody else. There's another robot who's like the Joe McMillan who comes to him who's like, I heard about that computer you tried to make. You could have been so big. What happened to you? Do you want to come back? Do you want to work with me? You could do it again, Robot Jones.
It's the Jetsons kid. He's the Joe McMillan one. Yeah.
Elroy. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam says, did you know that George Jetson was conceived this past Thanksgiving weekend? He will be born soon, this August. That's a fun fact. Thank you, Sam.
What an ominous phrase. He will be born soon.
George Jetson is coming.
Watch out.
Or maybe his father is, but you know, he is going to be coming too.
Father too, hopefully, if his father does it right. Wow. Oh my God.
If the father does it right, she'll be coming too.
Both of them. This hurts my brain to think about. Like, you see things like that. Like, if you go to this town in Iowa, there's a placard somewhere that says, future birthplace of James T. Kirk. According to Star Trek lore, like whatever year, whatever star date he's born. I don't know if this is the first of those, this is when a future character was born things we're running into. The first one I've heard of. So what? How old is George Jetson? Is he like 43? So we're like 43 years away from living in like Space Needles and we never see the ground?
Let me see. How old is George Jetson in the show? In the show, he's a 40-year-old.
40 exactly. Okay.
Let's see. George Jetson, blah, 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 since 1990. I don't know what that all is. A fictional character and the 40-year-old head of the Jetson family. So, I guess...
Meet him.
All right, so
you've met him. We've now met George Jetson.
Here we go. We got an article from comicbook.com written by Kofi Outlaw. There you go. It says, George Jetson from the Jetsons was born in 2022. Cartoon fans are being reminded of a fun fact as we head into the new year. George Jetson from the Jetsons was born in 2022, which suddenly means a whole lot more than the Jetsons' creator could have ever imagined. It only takes a quick search to find out the wiki on George Jetson to figure out the 40-year-old father parenting in 2062 when the show is set. Was
oh my God.
In 2022. Wow, yeah. What the internet seems to be loving right now is how modern day context reshapes our entire perceptions of what George Jetson's life was all about.
If you're going to blow my mind with this math, like, I want a new Jetsons. I think about this a lot. Bring like cool, snazzy Jetsons to me, please.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, we could have this show. Like, it is the birth of George Jetson. We get to see him when he's young. We get to see him growing up, like going to school, getting a job.
Oh my God, it's
How I Met Your Mother.
For George.
It's how I Met Your Mother, but with the Jetsons.
Oh my God, I like that.
God.
Because that's how the opening theme goes. Meet George Jetson, his wife, Judy. No. Yeah. Daughter, Judy, Jane, his wife, his boy, Elroy.
Sam is like that. Says, oh my God.
Right. Yes.
How I Met Your Mother, but it's the Jetsons. Since he was God, George Jetson, born in I was about to say 1922. I can't even get my dates right. He was George Jetson was born in. I about did it again. God damn it.
2022.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, we're in a weird period of many dead celebrities. Sometimes this just happens and a bunch of famous actors and singers all die at once. Yep. It is a comfort to my mind to know We're losing all these valuable people. But this year we do gain a George Jetson. I've never known when a celebrity is about to be born, only when they die. I don't know when they're born. I mean, you know when a royal baby is born, but you don't know like when any other celebrities are born. But now we know George Jetson.
Wow. That's wild. Wild to think about that. He was a COVID baby.
Sam, thank you.
The COVID baby. Like, well, we got nothing else to do in the house.
For bringing us this extremely valuable information. He will be born soon.
He will be born. God. There you go. I think that is a great place for us to wrap up and end the show. Man, this has been a good one. Fun one. Good show. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Indeed. Well, with that, Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WilkyWit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, show where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kids shows you feel like only you remember. We recorded last night and we were talking about the Jetsons. That's not the topic of the episode, but we derailed it into talking about the Jetsons.
There you go. Good, clean family fun starting this year.
Yeah.
You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you guys want to follow all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. We are also on TikTok. Just a reminder, go check that stuff out. Yeah, go like, share, subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. And I believe that is it for number 175 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.